One thing I realized while starting this Scarlet and Violet binder journey is that sometimes the cards that stay with you the most aren't even the most rare or expensive ones. So today I want to go through some of my favorite cards I've pulled so far and why they actually matter to me. All in all, Scarlet and Violet Base Set is a set of 198 cards and we have around 120 of them today. And as of now, so a long way to go, but again, if I open another Scarlet and Violet Base Set product, it will be only one, and then I will order all the singles from the usual sites I do. So let's go through some of my favorites. I think you really like the shortlist that I have on this page. These are all the grass types I currently own. Cacnea is somewhat of a cute Pokemon, and Cacnea Cacturn was a thing back in the day in terms of competitive gameplay because they had this counter-attack quills ability that lets you do 3 damage counters whenever you get attacked by your opponent's Pokemon. On this page we are ending the grass type Pokemon. We are starting fire once with Growlithe. Arcanine EX is missing here. And then we get to the first special card that I want to highlight today, and it is this Magikarp. So Magikarp basically is the card that's really like nostalgic to me. I also really love the art on this one. As I said, I live in a coastal town here in Croatia, and when I see water Pokemon in the water especially, like you see the lighthouse here, and it's really a clear image of Magikarp diving. That's like something that I hold dear to my heart as well. Of course, there's the anime correlation where James from Team Rocket got fooled once and almost twice surrounding Magikarp on that stand with the guy that like boasted the Magikarp, and of course Magikarp in itself can't do much of the attacking until it evolves, of course, to Gyarados. So that's the first card that I wanted to highlight because it's really a dear card to me, especially in terms of its nostalgic value. On this page we also have lots of water type Pokemon, and then we are slowly going to electric ones. I won't highlight any of these cards today, but Wag Trio probably is the card that I want to highlight in terms of competitive gameplay because I did a game against the guy who had Wag Trio, and it has this undersea tunnel attack. Flip 3 coins for each head, discard the top 3 cards of your opponent's deck. So basically that deck relies heavily on time, and then of course tries to push you to draw all the cards from your deck and win that way. That guy also had like Battle Cage and some other trainer cards that wouldn't let you do damage to his bench Pokemon, and then the other stadium card, I can't remember the name now, which didn't let you attack Wag Trio with your Pokemon EXs. So yeah, in the end we drew because it was like time limit was reached. On this page, on these 2 pages, basically with the addition of a couple of fighting Pokemon, we have Psychic type Pokemon. As you know, Psychic type Pokemon are my favorite type. Hypno, one of the favorites from the older generation. And this Ralts also looks quite amazing. The art around it and the whole, like, it reminds me of France and Paris. That's why I like it, with this like, let's say, Pokemon Center in the background. Sideshot Ralts is dear to me because of that. On this page, Monkey and Medicham as the start of the fighting type Pokemon. Couple of fighting type Pokemon on this page as well. Sandal, we are missing its evolution. Krokorok, and then we have Crocodile here. Grimer Mach, that's also a fun combo. That's one of those Pokemon that my kid sort of loves, has a love-hate relationship in regards to anime, Weezing and Mach, because they are, let's say, icky and how does he call it? They smell like, he can tell that the Weezing smells. I mean, Weezing usually uses sludge attack or the smoke curtain, so that's why. And also like Mach, whenever he appears and gets all over Professor Oak on a video call with Ash, That's like, but to me, Grimer Mac combo was always like a fun combo. So I like those out of the regular, like, let's say 150 dark type Pokemon. On this page, couple of more darkness Pokemon, and then we are off to metal ones, and Chansey is also here to start off the colorless type. Iron Thread CX, that was the pull, the only pull I think that we got from the regular EXs in that pack opening. The link for that will appear right about now on the screen, so you can check that out where we open this haul. Scarlet and Violet Bill and Battle Stadium with altogether I think 11 packs. So that was an amazing opening, and that's why we started this binder of ours. On this page, the one Pokemon that I would like to highlight as well is Grident. Grident is such a fun Pokemon. I mean, Skwovet and Grident, and especially Grident to me, greedy Pokemon, so has that like whole cute and naughty energy around it. And this card is also nice, like Grident with all the candies it collected or stole in the middle of the street. We are finishing off with colorless Pokemon on this page, and then we are starting off with trainers. Lots of trainer cards in this set. I mean, it was a base set, so they had to redo lots of them in terms of competitive gameplay. The regulars like Arven and Jacques are here. Judge also got a reprint during one of the last sets, Scented Heroes or what's it called, Perfect Order. So each player shuffles their hand into their deck and draws 4 cards. I mean, it can limit you, but it can of course limit your opponent if you play it correctly. And yeah, that's about it for this page. The final pages, again, lots of trainers. We have Katie, we have Nemona out of the girls. We have another stadium card in Mesagoza, Penny also. Put one of your basic Pokemon and all attached cards into your hand, so you can save it that way if it's low on HP. Of course, Nemona is played heavily and has lots of different variations. I think Friends of Impaldia also lets you draw 3 cards, of course, Professor's Research down there, and Potion, like getting a reprint all the way from the original base set is really fun to see, as well as this Pokeball. On this final page, of course, you already know what I will say about this. Is the biggest pull of that opening. The one card that's over the regular set number, so it's number 224 out of 198, and it is this Arcanine EX full art card. I mean, this is the card that really made my day in terms of pull, not just because it's quite expensive, but because of its like whole glow to it. As I said in that video, Arcanine usually has lots of like fearsome colors, so orange, red about it, and this one has such a nice contrast in terms of red and white, and it is, for me personally, really one of the most beautiful Arcanine cards ever made. So yeah, that's it for this one. As I said, we'll of course do a binder update when I get one more product opening, and all the singles other than that will be ordered privately through a couple of sites like Card Market, Card Trader, and maybe through some of the trading that I do in my Facebook groups that I attend. So yeah, that's it for this one. I hope you enjoyed it. This is like a collector moment thing, like not rushing through packs, not getting too excited about the high pulls that we get or all the other pulls. Just like a brief binder update, but more so like really a video about how sometimes you neglect, lots of people neglect the true side of this hobby, because it's all about collecting and enjoying cards. So you can enjoy cards you should enjoy cards even if they are common and uncommon ones, and not just live for the hype ones and like super rare pulls. So that's my whole philosophy. That's the philosophy of this channel. If you like it, subscribe to it if you haven't already. My name is 90s Pokemon Dude, and until next time, peace out.